But there's no conversation about how we're going to respond to this. Are we going to fight back? There's no conversation about who did this to you. We are afraid to say white people did it. Not all white people, but white supremacists did this to us. It does not mean that spirituality can be a bad thing, or faith is a bad thing, or going to church is a bad thing, because there's a lot of strength in the black church. But you must also understand that this idea of instantly forgiving everybody who does some horrible thing to you, like when Dylan Roof shot up all those black people, and you had these Negroes begging for forgiveness. Why are you doing this publicly? What you're doing is you're kissing the white man's ass so that they'll like you more. That's why you do it publicly. Because if you did it privately, then it wouldn't be an issue. You could just go home, pray to Jesus, say, okay, I forgive him, and keep it to yourself. Why are you announcing it on national TV? Well, because you're trying to gain favor with your abusive oppressor who does not give a damn about you.
I think the church, and especially the urban church, has to be very vocal about the disparities between laws that govern businesses, that govern banks and community banks, that also play a role in responsibility to fair housing lending, and also equal opportunity for business owners and homeowners, and also the sort of disparity between the education that our urban children are receiving.
When a black person puts 10% of their income or more into a church basket, and then that money is put into a white bank, the same white bank that won't give loans to black people, won't finance their businesses, who is that helping? It's not helping us. When you go into a black home and you see pictures of white Jesus everywhere, that's not helping us at all. The most destructive thing about Christianity is the white face that we see on the abstraction that is Jesus Christ. The story of Jesus existed before Jesus himself, and it's an abstraction. An abstraction is an idea. The idea of Jesus is goodness, it's a savior, it's everything right, it's beauty, it's all of these magnificent kind of ideas. So what has happened is they have placed a symbol onto this abstraction. Our minds have to put a symbol with something. That's how we remember things, by symbols. Anytime you hear something, the word car, the word house, your mind automatically brings in the image of that. So when that child goes outside of the home, what are they seeing? They're seeing billboards, they're seeing movies, they're seeing pamphlets. Everything that they are seeing is reinforcing this idea that this God, the one that your parents have already told you is God, this God is white. The problem is that when we have black children, they look in the mirror and they see something that is exactly opposite of that positive abstraction. And they have absolutely nothing to look at and say, I can see me in this. Everything is white. So we have to start putting black faces in our homes. Now, I'm not saying that people should get rid of Jesus. I'm not saying that at all. But at least give your children, at least give your family a black Jesus. Give them something that looks like themselves.
So my religious philosophy is this: follow any organization, any religion, any pastor, church, mosque, or whatever that puts the unity, justice, and repair of black people first. If you're part of a religion or organization that's not supporting your people and uplifting your people, you're probably part of the wrong organization.
We're spiritual people, and everybody was born for a purpose. And it's not to kill each other, it's to support each other.
Love is not religious. We don't have a heaven or hell to put anybody in. And it is not our place to judge one or another. It is our place to be the likeness and reflection of God.
If you're atheist, Christian, Muslim, Jews, Hindus, no one is holding us back. We have no excuses. The white man, the yellow man, the purple man, it is you and you only. It is me and me only that is accountable on how I treat another human being.
As the black church, we have to be the model citizens of pulling ourselves together and supporting each other and being there for one another. And to me, that doesn't take a religion to do.
Sex is the second most powerful motivating force among people. People are interested in sex all the time. Books are written about sex. People are trying to dissect sex. TV programs on sex and movies written based on sex. Interaction between people based on something called SEX. Race or racism and sex. You have sexual factors involved in that. You have the two most volatile motivating forces among the people of the known universe.
There are certain things that we are trained to believe from a very early age as black people that will affect who we choose to have as our mates. So for example, you might grow up, especially in the South, you have a lot of brothers that grow up thinking that light-skinned women are more attractive than dark-skinned women. So that might lean them toward seeing lighter skin as more attractive, or even white women. You know, if a brother walks up and he's got a white girl on his arm, I don't judge anything at that point. I don't really, it's not my business. But if he's a person that says, for example, I only date white women because black women are ridiculous and ratchet or whatever, well, that's a problem. That's a mental illness, right? So I would say that your dating preferences can say a lot about who you are, but then sometimes, you know, you may find love in a package that you didn't expect, and I don't think it's anybody's right to really judge that. And really what's tough about it is only the person who's in that relationship really kind of has some idea of why they're in the relationship or what the dynamics of that relationship happen to be. I do also think that that dating outside of your race does come with the risk that that you may go through some sort of cultural evolution in terms of who you are as an African American, and your partner may not understand that. You know, there was one brother that we met one time who had a white girlfriend, and he literally came out of our event and said, he said, I don't know if I could date this white girl no more, because when I talk about Black Lives Matter and I talk about, you know, Black Wall Street and our racial history, she doesn't get it. Her family doesn't get it. So they liked him more when he was more assimilationist. They don't like him when he's been pseudo-radicalized by knowing his history.
There's nothing wrong with interracial marriage or interracial dating. Why would there be? But, you know, ironically and funny enough, there are white supremacists, overt white supremacists that hate black people, but yet will date and have sex with black people.
Me personally, I couldn't see myself dating or building a life with someone outside of our race.